At the beginning of time, there existed but a single perfect pearl in which a near-perfect creation resided. This entity was known as Anu. Anu was the embodiment of everything in existence, the physical, the ethereal, good, evil, light, and dark. Seeking to attain a state of total purity and perfection, Anu sought to free itself from the malignance of evil that lurked in its soul, and because of this, it expelled the darkness that resided within it, thus creating the purest being that had ever existed. For a time, everything was pure bliss, but from the remnants of Anu, from the darkness, the vile and atrocity that had been expelled from this entity of purity, another being took shape. The first of the Prime Evil, Tathamet, a seven-headed dragon composed of nothing but the deepest and darkest evil of all of existence. Though being two different separate beings, polar opposites, the two entities were still trapped within the pearl, and thus began a war of incomprehensible scale and force. This cataclysmic clash of good and evil, this cacophony of destruction between the forces of light and dark, would continue for aeons, with the two warring against one another, neither of them ever gaining the upper hand, and after countless millennia, at the peak of their battle, the two would deliver their final blows simultaneously. The sheer magnitude of force unleashed by their impossible scale and might ignited a reality-shattering explosion of light and matter, and from that incomprehensible release of energy, the universe as we know it was born. Both entities died in this cataclysmic scale of destruction, with the soul of Anu allegedly transcending past reality to a state of existence beyond our universe, a paradise of impossible bliss and purity. In the wake of the destruction and the two entities' demise, three realms would be created: the high heavens, the burning hells, and in between, acting as a nexus between the two realms, the pandemonium. What was left behind in the passing of Anu was only his eye and his spine. The eye of Anu, what would later come to be known as the World Stone, the heart of the world, which stood within the realm of pandemonium, at the center of creation, the foundation of all places, times, and possibilities. The spine of Anu spun out into the primordial darkness, where it slowed and cooled, and over countless ages, it formed into the crystal arch, around which the high heavens would take shape and form. From this divine artifact, the angels were born, each of them shaped as a manifestation of the virtues of Anu: valor, wisdom, justice, hope, and fate. And among all of these angels, who aligned closest to the deepest essence of these virtues, was born each an archangel: Imperius of valor, Tyrael of justice, Oriel of hope, Ethereal of fate, and Malphael of wisdom. And from those five was founded the Angiris Council, which became the ruling bodies of the high heavens. Yet standing as the antithesis, at the bottom of reality, far beneath the high heavens, the remains of Tathamet had lingered in bits of hate and malice. Its blackened, smoldering husk would spiral into the lower darkness of reality, and here, from his putrid flesh, arose the realms of the burning hells, in which the race of demons was birthed from its corpse, like maggots would form in a carcass. From its 7 heads were born 7 evils, 3 prime evils of its greater heads, and 4 lesser evils, of the lesser heads. The Prime Evils were Diablo, the Lord of Terror, Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, and Baal, the Lord of Destruction. Each of them would establish themselves as the leading power among the burning hells, and beneath those three stood the four lesser evils: Duriel, the Lord of Pain, Andariel, the Maiden of Anguish, Belial, the Lord of Lies, and Asmodan, the Lord of Sin. And thus, despite the existence of both Anu and Tathamet having been shattered in their otherworldly conflict, their bodily remains had now manifested themselves into our very universe, and the entities within had inherited both their virtues and ambitions. And so at this moment, the eternal conflict between heaven and hell had begun. Hey there, Hazmat here. That was chapter 1 in the beginning of what will be the coverage of the entire story of the Diablo franchise. A quite ambitious undertaking where the script writing itself has been in the work now for over half a year. I have chosen, for the sake of my sanity, to try to focus on the overall flow of the timeline and not do a deep dive on each of the aspects that I cover, for already, as of currently, the entire story that I have written spans a total of 22 chapters with a raw recording that lasts more than 20 hours. So with that said, I plan on releasing an episode each Saturday from now on until the entirety of the story is covered, before I then compile all of the chapters into one big mega video. I have been waiting so long to share this project with all of you, and I hope that you're just as excited as I am to embark upon the journey into the world of Diablo. And with that said, as always, a big thanks goes out to the Hunters Lounge, specifically the exclusive Johnny Sevens, the exclusive Gitchy Boy, the exclusive War Monk, the exclusive The Coyote, and the exclusive Rat. The VIPs: Corvo Bearslayer, Derivative, Doug Powell, Dustin the Grim, Fritz, Gino Lucero, Goose, Hambone, Jim and El Bob, Corey Peterson, Michael Fornell, Mordev Menace, Mr. Mouse, Ryan, Slip, Stas Biestek, Sunrise Phoenix, TJ Crane, Texas Toast, and the Wizard of Copper. And of course, all the regulars. If you want to support the channel, then consider signing up as a member either here on YouTube or on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Link is in the description below. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one.